let's go for a walk together. I am walking on this levee here, and the sun hasn't come up yet, but it's a good day, very nice and quiet and cool, to talk with you about something that I have wanted to address for a long time, but which I haven't really put into words in such a way that it caught on. So yeah, I am just continuing to speak about embodied language. And so what I am saying here is that we have been using our language incorrectly. And it is very important that we use our language correctly, of course. And this incorrect use of language pertains to the fact that we are not listening to ourselves while we speak. And because we do not listen to ourselves while we speak, we engage in what I call disembodied language. Disembodied language in which we listen to others and we try to get other people to listen to us, but we're not listening to ourselves. So this process of listening to ourselves is something that we haven't gotten to, and when we ever get to it, it is something that we all realize that we've been missing out on. Yeah. And so we talk, but we don't listen to ourselves. And so it is an adjustment which we make with our language, with our sound, where we speak in such a way that we do not force our speech, we do not fabricate our speech, because we also fabricate our speech. We just posture and we perform, but we do not really speak authentically. And to speak authentically requires that we do not feel any stress or fear or anxiety or hurry. We just speak. And we're not arguing, we're not competing for attention. No, we just speak. So there is no stress, there is no competition. We just speak. And this is so easy, so simple, and yet so rare. And so I believe we need this way of talking. A way of talking in which there is no competition, in which there is no stress, no fear, no anger, no resentment, no defensiveness, no need to flee, no need to anticipate that we are going to be misunderstood, because that's another interesting angle on this, that we are all used to being misunderstood, and we anticipate the other person is not going to get it, and we haven't really been understood, because if we would have what I am talking about, then then we wouldn't have this. Good morning. Hi. Then there wouldn't be this problem. The problem, which is of course the absence of this way of speaking, and absence of the knowledge that we can speak like this and that we should be speaking like this. Our conversation should be something very simple, where we just talk and we understand each other without any effort, without any stress, without any worry, without any bad effects. With only good effects, good consequences. So it is all very simple. We can talk like this, but we don't. And yeah, you can drag in all the reasons why we don't and all the justifications for why we don't. But the fact is that we don't talk like this. And we could, and we should. And yeah, we do we do everything to move away from this. And I am here not modeling this, not demonstrating this, not teaching this. No, I'm simply having this because I like to have this. And so I'm not making this tape of this recording to teach you something or to become famous, or I don't know, to make you read my book or to make you become part of some kind of a cult. Yeah, but I am a master of this way of talking. I am the master of my own embodied language. And anyone who would acquire their own embodied language would be the master of his or her own language. And obviously when you use your language according to you, yeah, to what is important to you and what really is important to you, you know, like our usual way of talking doesn't even prevent us, doesn't even allow us to address our real needs. So we are chasing after phony needs, and our real needs remain unexpressed, unmet, and that is all just because we use our language incorrectly. My needs are met, and my needs are expressed, and I express my language correctly, and what that means is that I use the words that I have to address what's going on with me, and I just like to talk like this, and that's how I do it. It's very, very simple. Everybody can do it. Everybody can look in that direction here, where in a little while the sun is gonna come over the hill. Everyone can begin to listen to themselves and know for sure. Yeah, if you just speak with yourself long enough to hear yourself, yeah, so you speak not to say something, no, you speak so that you want to hear it. I like to talk like this because I like to hear myself. There's nothing wrong with that. It's natural to like to hear yourself. It is, yeah, being good to yourself is natural. Being good to yourself is healthy, is intelligent. And so talking like this is needed. And even if it is just done like I do right now by myself, just on my own, it is good to do this. I just feel happy to do this. It satisfies me, and it clarifies also everything that could never become clear in our usual way of talking, in which we do not listen to ourselves, and in which we try to get other people to listen to us, or in which we are forced to listen to others, because that's what we are. Yeah, we're always forced to listen to others. And then, of course, also, oh, there comes a helicopter. Maybe you can see it. Let's see. Yeah. So this way of talking, in which we can wait for what we want to say, and in which we're not obliged to say anything in particular, and in which we can feel space to address whatever we want to address. Yeah, just like I feel space here in this beautiful early morning environment. Yeah. I remember when I first discovered that I could talk like this, and that I could listen to myself, and that I could engage in what I now call embodied language. I used to call it, in the very beginning, I used to call it the language that creates space. Yeah. And that's of course how it felt back then, as if I was creating space with my language, but the language doesn't create space. The language either allows us to experience space, yeah, or it doesn't. So your disembodied language, your usual way of talking, it takes up a lot of space. It takes up a lot of energy. It is so unnatural and so what is it? Involuntary. It just you're possessed by it, in the same way that you're possessed by this false notion of inner language. But here, in this way of talking, in embodied language, you are just calm and at ease, and you're just safe and peaceful. And you do not have any thoughts. You do not have any inner language. You do not have a mind. So there you have it. This whole ridiculous notion of inner language was forced on you. Your mind was forced on you. There is no inner language. So, and yeah, I say it as often as I want to, as often as I like to. I have no shame or no feeling of like, oh, I'm saying the same thing again. No, I'm saying what I want to say. I'm saying what anybody should be saying. If you want to be free, then your language has to express that. And your language is not an internal thing. Your language is an overt thing. So you cannot sit on your butt and meditate or pray or do all kinds of rituals and stuff. It's not gonna do it. You gotta be busy with your language, yeah? And busy is maybe not the right way to say it, but it is just bring attention to your language. Because unless you are using your language correctly by listening to yourself while you speak, because that's the only thing you need to do. That's all there is to do. To use your language correctly, you just listen to yourself. And then you say, yeah, of course. Of course I wasn't using my language correctly when I wasn't listening. I mean, how simple can it be? And yet, this is what everybody completely misses out on. and then we are having a disagreement, we are having a discussion, a debate, or whatever, an argument, and but we're not having this, never. So when we are having this together, we are so happy. We experience such an exchange of energy. We experience love, beauty, intelligence, everything, peace, freedom. This is what we need. And if we don't have this, we have all this other stuff which is not this. It's just as simple as that. And you can go on with it, but it's not going to bring you to this. All that other stuff has to stop, and you have to recognize it, that it is preventing this. And if you don't recognize it, you won't have this, because you haven't stopped that other stuff. So yeah, perhaps this conversation rings a bell. And I'm not trying to ring a bell, I'm not trying to rock the boat, you know. Of course I use famous people I use the name of Trump or Charlie Kirk or whoever it is, J.D. Vance. I speak about these people to talk about what they say and to just use their name, their fame. Yeah, they are people we're all familiar with. Well, I like to use their fame to attract attention to embodied language. And to me, there it is, here it is. That's all I do. Yeah. We can do it. I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too.